What's going on, Bears fans? Harrison Graham here with another episode of Chicago Bears Now. It's been a busy offseason, roster changes via trades, free agency, and the draft. Ryan Poles, Ben Johnson have been busy the last few months, and I said, you know what? Let's take a deep dive and do some deep analysis of the Bears roster. Now, I'm not doing all 90 players, not going to include UDFAs, and then certain guys like on futures contracts, etc. I don't know the exact number. I think about like 60-ish players. Basically, players that have a chance to make the 53 is who I'm going to break down here. And we're going to do it kind of from a scouting lens, right? All these teams, they place players into color-coded categories. Now, all teams have blue and red. Those are typically the first two. And then after that, it's really team-by-team basis. I'll just kind of go through my categories here. Blue chip, all pro caliber. Red chip, excellent starter. Orange, quality starter, serviceable to quality starter. Yellow, solid rotation piece, good backup. Purple is either unknown, like maybe it's year two, we haven't seen a lot of that player yet, or clock is ticking, like it's kind of now or never. And then green is rookies. We could all guess, project, and wonder where those players come in, like all these teams do, but just going to throw them all into one category. And again, disclaimer, not doing all 90 players. So if you're Jordan McFadden watching this video, I apologize, not including you in this breakdown. Okay, let's start with blue chip. And to me, to win championships, you have to have as many blue chip players as possible, or at least a ton of red. I think this team has two blue chippers right now. Jaylon Johnson, who the last 2 years has emerged as a blue chipper. He was All-Pro a couple years ago, and last year had a really good year as well. Pro Bowler for a second straight season. And then Joe Thuney. Now, I do have arrows for all these players except for rookies. Arrows still pointing up for Jaylon, young player. I think this new scheme actually benefits his talents even more. More press man coverage. I think that'll be good. Joe Thuney, still very good. I don't think the arrow's pointing down yet, but he is 32. It's very possible and likely, just based on his age, that we've seen his best football, but I still think his best football is still right now, at least for the short term. And even if that arrow starts to point down, let's say he falls to the red category, that's still an excellent starter. So Jaylon Johnson, Joe Thuney, I think the two best players on this team. You can debate who's better than the other, but I think they're the two best players on this roster. I think DJ Moore is probably the third best guy. I think his first year in Chicago, he played like a blue chip player. But if you add up his career with Carolina and Chicago, I think overall he's been more of a red player. Very good player, wide receiver one, but not like a Jamar Chase, right? Like Jamar Chase is a blue chip. Like there's levels to this, right? So arrows pointing sideways, based on from 2 years ago to last year, you would say down, but I think it has gone down he's gone from blue to red, but I think in the red category, he's kind of level right now. Still a really good player. We'll see if he can get back to blue or not. Kmet, I think the arrow is pointing down. He's never been a blue guy. He never will be a blue guy. It's possible this time next year he's more of a orange level player, like solid starter, but not special with the addition of Colson Loveland. His value could certainly decrease. Still think he's a red level player, but the arrow's pointing down in that regard. Darnell Wright. I think out of all the red chip players, he's got a good chance to become blue. Top 10 pick, improved from year one to year two. I thought the second half of last year he played really, really well. Arrow pointing up. Excellent starter, not quite a blue chipper. Drew Dalman, I think he's just a solid, good starter, right? Like, I don't think he's got enough physical traits to become a blue level player, but he's going to be somewhere between red and orange for years to come. Starting level player, high-end starter at times the last 2 years. Not a blue chip player, but a very good starter. Okay, Montez Sweat, kind of like DJ Moore 2 seasons ago, he played like a blue level player. Historically in his career, though, he's a red level player. Really good starter, but he's not TJ Watt. He's not Myles Garrett. He's not one of these top edge rushers. At his best, he's a really, really good red player. Excellent against the run, and then a solid pass rusher, not an elite pass rusher. That's kind of who he's been throughout his career. Grady Jarrett, I still have him in the red category, but the arrow's pointing down. He's 32. Last year, he didn't have his most productive season, but he's now an extra year removed from that torn ACL a couple of years ago. I think he could play at a red level player, red level, I should say, for a couple more years potentially, which is what the Bears are hoping for. Even if he dips down to orange, still a solid starter. TJ Edwards, I don't think he's reaching blue, but I still think he can be a really good starter for a couple of years. So the arrow's kind of pointing sideways there. Cairo Santos, I did include the kicker and the punter. I think he's red. He's not one of the best because he doesn't have the strongest leg, but he's very accurate. Do think the arrow is pointing down, though. He's older, doesn't have the strongest leg. I could see the Bears trying to upgrade there in a couple of years. Okay, orange. And again, at bottom, you see the notes of like what each category means, just as a reminder. Quality starter. Caleb Williams. Arrow pointing up, though. Second year. They've invested around him. The talent is there. Number 1 pick. This time next year, we need to be talking about a red level player, at least. I mean, you're hoping blue at some point, right? With both him and Rome Odunze. I have them both in the orange. They're clearly starters in the NFL with ability to be much more. I mean, like at minimum, those need to be red level players. DeAndre Swift, he is who he is. He's a serviceable to solid starter. You would certainly like better, but you could do worse. Jonah Jackson, I have arrowed down because last year he had injuries. He's had a couple of years of injuries here. Didn't play his best ball last year. I think he could get back into red, which is what he was a few years ago in Detroit. Right now he's orange, so just because the arrow's pointing down doesn't mean it can't get back up. But as of right now, coming off of last season, I put him in quality starter, arrow pointing down. Braxton Jones, same deal because he's coming off a nasty ankle injury. Had he entered the offseason healthy, I'd probably have him orange and then arrow sideways. I don't think he's ever reaching blue. Probably not even really red, but I think he's a solid NFL starter. Like he's a top 20 left tackle, so he's in that orange category. Okay, Tremaine Edmonds, they paid him to be a red level player and potentially reach blue. I don't think he's ever getting to blue. I think at times he's played like a red in his career, especially in Buffalo and Chicago. We have not seen a lot of that. I think he's a solid starter, but he's not special by any means. Dio Adengbo, I thought about arrow up, but he had a better year 2 years ago than last year, so we'll see. You're hoping that arrow starts to point up, but solid starter, but not special up to this point. Javon Dexter, I do have the arrow pointing up. I don't know how Dennis Allen and this staff view him, but entering year 3 was much better in year 2 than year 1. Crowded defensive tackle room, though, so we'll have to wait and see if he ends up actually even starting or not. Same with Andrew Billings. I got arrowed down coming off the injury last year, final year of his contract. Could be his last year in Chicago. Tyreek Stevenson, I got arrowed down for now, but given his age and talent, I still think he can reach red. I really, really do. I don't know if he's ever a blue chipper, but he's got the size, the athleticism, the physical nature to be a high-level starter for many, many years. Again, I don't think he's ever an all-pro, but I do think he could be one of the better CB2s in the NFL, and for certain teams, potentially a CB1, although as long as Jalen's here, probably not with this team. Okay, orange chip, a few more here. Kevin Byard, he's still a quality starter, but he's getting older. Arrow sideways, his best days are behind him, but I thought he held firm last year with his level of play. I think he can do that again for another season. Brisker, you have to go arrow down. When he's out there and healthy, he's a high-end orange, I would say, low-end red at times, but the injuries are a major concern, especially the concussions. Torrey Taylor, I thought he was inconsistent early on last year, but started to figure it out. I think he's got a real shot to be one of the best punters in the NFL. Okay, which orange player, quality starter, has the best chance of getting all the way to blue? You're hoping it's Caleb and Rome, right? I mean, top 10 picks. I think those are the two you would point to just based on talent, youth, and then just ability. So you would say one or both of those players. But if you think it's someone else, let us know down in the comments section below. Okay, before we get to our next category of player, I'll tell you guys about our friends. Our sponsor, it is Rocket Money, personal finance app that'll help you find and cancel unwanted subscriptions, monitor your spending, and help lower your bills so that you can grow your savings. Listen, expenses can pile up. Maybe it's that daily coffee habit. Maybe it's streaming services that you keep getting recommended by friends to go check out new shows, which you watch that show and it's awesome and it's worth it at the time, but you forget to cancel and you don't use it for 8 months and you've been paying $20 per month for no reason. Piles up. It adds up, and you could be saving a lot of money if you know what you're spending on in real time. That's what Rocket Money is going to help you do. If you want to get rid of some of those subscriptions, you will see them all in one place within the Rocket Money app. And for the ones you don't want anymore, Rocket Money can help you cancel them. Tons of benefits to help grow your savings with Rocket Money. Go check it out. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 per year. when they use all of the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/bears now. That's rocketmoney.com/bears now. Link is in the comments and in the description. Okay, yellow chip players again, rotation, backup. Depends on position. Obviously, if you're a quarterback, you're not a rotation player. But quality backup. I like both the Bears backups. Bagent, arrow up, young player. I don't know if he ever starts somewhere, but I think the guy who's actually QB3 now, I think that's a good comp for Tyson Bagent. Not necessarily skill set wise, but I think he's got the traits and the ability where in the right situation, he could be a serviceable starter somewhere. Probably not for an extended period of time, not 5, 6, 8 years or anything like that, but I wouldn't rule out him having a Case Keenum, Minnesota type of season where everything comes together perfectly. It probably won't be here in Chicago unless Caleb gets injured or just completely bottoms out somehow. But I do think there's upside there. I think he will be a backup in this league for a long time. And again, he'll get an opportunity, I think, at some point somewhere to at least be a plug-in starter. So I think the arrow's pointing up there. By the way, Buzzcut Bagent back. So we'll see what that means for his status this year. Case Keenum, obviously arrowed down. He's a QB3. He's more of a extension of the coaching staff at this point. But good backup. If he had to play, you feel okay. And obviously his value on the team is being a resource for Caleb. Travis Homer, mostly special teamer, but a really good one. And you see a lot of that in the yellow category where you don't really want them to play on offense or defense, but if they have to, they at least know the job. And more importantly, their value is in the kicking game. Punt coverage, punt return, whatever the case may be. Travis Homer fits that mold. I got arrow up on Zacchaeus because if one of your top 3 receivers goes down and you need him to start, he can do that. I said when they signed him, he's a serviceable number 3 receiver, excellent number 4 receiver. So I think the arrow is up there. If he needs to plug in and play a bigger role at any point this season, I think he can do that. Devin Duvernay, arrow down as a receiver. His production's gone down, but he's an excellent returner, so that still gets him into the yellow category. If he has to get some snaps on offense, he can do that, but he's going to be good on 4th down, a.k.a. the kicking game. So that is why he's in this category. Arrow down on Durham Smythe. I'm glad they got Colston Loveland because if he had to be tight end 2, I think that would have been bad news. But I think as a tight end 3, he can do the job. He'll block. He can catch checkdowns. I think as a tight end 3, he's perfectly fine. He's at least a solid enough backup. Ryan Bates, same deal. I actually like him in this role. I think he can be a good backup. Now, you could still make the argument, is cutting him to say $4 million worth it? I would make that case, but he could play center. He could play guard. He has started a decent amount of games in this league. I think with what the Bears have done with the offensive line, he's actually in the role he should be in, which is a backup, and if he needs to plug in and play, he can hold his own. Ahmed Ogbogbamiga, okay linebacker. If he has to play in short snippets of time, he can do the job as an LB4, LB5. Really good on special teams, though. That's why he falls into this category. Okay, 5 more here. Chris Williams, I thought he showed a lot last year as a rotation piece. Didn't quite go arrow up because I don't know if he can reach starting caliber player, but I think he can rotate in, be a quality backup. Terrell Smith, I still think there's a scenario where he's this team's CB2. Now, I'm a big Tyreek guy. I want him to get that job and run with it. But Terrell Smith, when he's played and he's rotated in as a starter a decent amount through 2 years, he's got the size, he's got the length, has had some injury concerns dating back to college. But I think there's a world where, whether it's here or somewhere else, he's a starting corner in this league somewhere consistently. Josh Blackwell, same deal. I think he's a serviceable starting nickel. Better as a backup. Awesome special teams player. Versatile, too. If you want him to return kicks and punts, he can. If you want him to be a gunner, he can do that. He's one of the best special teams players on this team and in the league. Arrow up. I'm not sure he's ever a starting defensive back, but he can plug in and play if you need him to. Elijah Hicks, same deal. I kind of re-reviewed his season last year. Definitely his best year up to date. Took advantage of the opportunities he got last year when Jaquan Brisker went down. I thought he played better than Jonathan Owens. So, again, probably never a starter, at least a full-time one. But if, they lose Brisker for a short period of time, I think you feel pretty good. If it's long-term, though, I think over extended periods, he kind of gets exposed. It's like, yeah, that's why he's a backup. Jonathan Owens, he is what he is. Good safety for special teams, but he's not a starting caliber player at this point. Okay, subscribe to the channel. We continue to pump out content every single day, 2+ videos every day, 2 live shows per week, every Monday and Thursday. Then if major breaking news pops, we go live for that as well. We're not going anywhere. Hit that subscribe button and join us on the channel. Okay, Purple, this is unknown / clock's ticking, like you've been put on notice. Jaylon Johnson, I know Ryan Poles kind of spoke glowingly of him recently, and they really liked him when they drafted him, but he just did not have a very good year last year. I do agree a little bit. He was probably miscast a little bit. I think they could have tried to use him more, but he also has concussion issues. I think clock's ticking. I really do. Now, he benefited from them not getting a running back high. So even though I've got Arrow down, he's kind of in this unknown clock ticking category, he could be the RB2 on this team. So the opportunity is still there, but I think that window of opportunity is starting to shut. Ian Wheeler, I'll go Arrow sideways. Had he not torn the ACL, I would have been curious to see if A, if he made this team last year, and B, if he would have factored into that running back room. I kind of think he would have at some point, even if he was on the practice squad initially, because other than DeAndre Swift, who obviously was inconsistent, they just did not get much production at all. So I'm still intrigued with him. I think he's an unknown commodity. Tyler Scott, kind of like Jaylon Johnson, liked the pick at the time, flashes a rookie just like Roschon, but then year 2 just wasn't as good. Wasn't really used hardly at all. So I think the clock's ticking there. I think he could get cut. Miles Boykin, he's bounced around for a while. I think it could come down to him and Tyler Scott for that final wide receiver spot. Completely different players. Boykin's a big physical player. Scott, a small speed demon. Okay, Steven Carlson, he's kind of a practice squad tight end. So clock's definitely ticking on him of being a 53-man roster. He's actually fully known, which is he's like a tight end 4. So if you carry 4 tight ends, all right, cool. He could be the 4th guy. Otherwise, he's on the practice squad. Karan Amagaji, I'll go unknown but arrow up because he was never really supposed to play last year. They drafted an injured player out of Yale because he had awesome traits, big physicality, long arms. So I still think he could become a starter at some point, at least get to that yellow category where it's like, okay, he could be a good backup, can play multiple spots. So we'll see. I still have arrow up, but relatively unknown at this point. Bill Murray, relatively unknown. What we saw last year was pretty promising, but it was short-lived because he got injured. I'll go arrow sideways because he's coming off that injury. Doug Kramer, I think we kind of know what he is. Clock is ticking. I think the Luke Newman pick might have been bad news for him. If you're Doug Kramer, you're probably hoping like Ryan Bates gets cut because Bates can play guard and center. Kramer's really just a center. If they want to trot out that fullback kind of role for him again, he gives you that versatility, but I don't think he's ever a starter at any position, and he's probably not even a high-end backup. Okay, Ricky Stromberg, I'm still intrigued. I liked him coming out of Arkansas. I think he's got a shot to earn the backup center job. I mean, Luke Newman and Ryan Bates are probably ahead of him for now. So is Doug Kramer, you would think. But I think that thing is wide open. Austin Booker, I thought about putting him in yellow because he had a couple flashes last year, but I don't think he played enough and we saw enough to say, okay, he's a good backup. I think he's an unknown, but a very intriguing unknown. Like, I'm trying to be objective here. So arrow definitely up here. You hope he at least gets into that yellow category. Like, yeah, he rotates in a lot. And let's face it, the edge group right now, he's going to get opportunities. So arrow up. Hopefully he gets into that next category, or hell, even the orange category. Daniel Hardy, good special teamer. Still an unknown in terms of a pass rush. So I'll go arrow sideways. Dominic Robinson, clock is ticking, brother. Like, it's year 4. I mean, he's going to have to show a lot just to make this team. Jonathan Ford, arrow up. Still a relative unknown, but they picked him up off the Packers practice squad late in the year, and he was active over Zach Pickens and played well against the run. You don't have a true backup nose, so he's got a path to make this team potentially. Zach Pickens on the flip side, arrow down. Healthy scratch in year 2 for a third-round pick. Not very good at all. Clock is definitely ticking. Same with Noah Sewell. We have not seen much at all through 2 years. And then Tarvarius Moore, Nick McLeod, very similar category. They're not unknowns, but I'd say the clock is ticking for them in their careers because they've been around 4, 5, 6 years. Versatile DBs that can play different spots, but they're not starters, and they're almost reaching that age where, like, you know, you're approaching 30. Are they core special teamers into their 30s? I don't know about that. So, they're fighting for roster spots. And then you got the rookies. Obviously, UDFA's in there as well. But these 8 guys, the draft class: Colston Loveland, Luther Burden, Ozzie Trapillo, Shamar Turner, Ruben Hippolyte, Zay Frazier, Luke Newman, Kyle Monungai. You're hoping for, can you find 1 or 2 blues in there? Can you get a couple of reds and at least some quality backups? That's what you're hoping for there. Time will tell on that front. Okay, there you have it. If you enjoyed this video, like it or hit the like button. We would greatly appreciate it. And let us know, which rookie do you think ends up having the best career, has the best chance to enter that blue chip status? Give us your thoughts in the comments below. My name is Harrison Graham. Again, if you enjoyed this exercise, like this video. Don't forget to subscribe as well. And we'll see you next time here on Chicago Bears Now.